Imran Khan, the illegally incarcerated former Prime Minister of Pakistan, has slammed the military government for the draconian laws passed to curtail free speech and independent journalism. In a statement released on his official Twitter account after speaking to lawyers and members of the media inside Adiala jail, who despite being present are unable to report on his statements, Imran Khan said, and quote, "In civilized societies, defamation is penalized with fines. It is considered a civil liability. However, in Pakistan, the draconian PECA law was passed, increasing the punishment for defamation to 5 years. For the first time in world history, individuals are being penalized for insulting government institutions," unquote. Imran Khan also spoke of the one-year anniversary of the elections, telling Pakistanis to prepare to mark the day as Black Day. He said, and quote, "February 8th will be observed as a Black Day nationwide. On that day, the public mandate was betrayed. First, elections were postponed, then the May 9th narrative was fabricated to crush PTI. Despite this, the people came out in droves to vote for PTI, but the results were shamelessly and ruthlessly altered, plunging the country into darkness." Imran Khan is being held in the maximum security Adiala jail and hasn't been seen since he was taken into custody 544 days ago. And now we turn to our special coverage of the Islamabad massacre. Victims of state violence continue to share harrowing accounts of being terrorized after being shot by Pakistan's state security forces. In a shocking revelation, one victim, Abdul Wahab, described his ordeal in an interview. He said, and quote, "I reached D Chowk around 1 p.m. where the Rangers opened a direct fire on us. I was shot in both my legs and taken to the hospital. The staff treated me brutally. They pressed on my wounds and taunted me, saying, 'Can Imran Khan save you now?' I replied, 'Not Imran Khan. Allah will save me. He is with us.' Then they called me a terrorist." Abdul Wahab was just one of the dozens shot on November 26th during a democracy march when they were indiscriminately fired upon, reportedly by special commandos of the Pakistani army. 14 people have so far been identified as dead, while scores are still missing. Imran Khan, the former Prime Minister, has called for an independent judicial inquiry into the incident known as the Islamabad massacre. The European Union has warned Pakistan not to take its GSP Plus status for granted. According to a report in Pakistani newspaper Dawn, Olof Skoog, the EU Special Representative for Human Rights, who's currently on a week-long visit to Pakistan, has urged the government not to use military courts to pursue cases against citizens and opposed recent moves to restrict freedom of expression. In an interview, the special representative said, and quote, "We have expressed apprehensions and concerns about the use of military courts against civilians," unquote. 85 Pakistani civilians were sentenced after closed-door trials in military courts. Freedom of expression in another GSP Plus condition, he said, even as journalists and opposition parties protested the passage of controversial amendments to the country's cybercrime laws. The special envoy said, and quote, "This is happening while I'm visiting the country. You can't restrict freedom of expression just to protect the politicians, authorities, or the system from being criticized. And these are the conversations we're having with Pakistan right now about where to draw the limits," unquote. Pakistan's authoritarian regime has kidnapped journalists, activists, and has now enacted laws to jail its critics. Everyone aboard an American Airlines jet carrying 60 passengers and 4 crew members that collided with an Army helicopter are feared dead in what was likely to be the worst U.S. aviation disaster in almost a quarter century, officials said Thursday. At least 28 bodies were pulled from the icy waters of the Potomac River after the mid-air collision Wednesday night when the helicopter apparently flew in the path of a jet as it was landing at Ronald Reagan National Airport near Washington. Crews were still searching for other casualties but did not believe there were any survivors, which would make it the deadliest U.S. air crash in nearly 24 years. John Donnelly, the fire chief in the nation's capital, said, and quote, "We're now at the point where we are switching from a rescue operation to a recovery operation. We do not believe there are any survivors."